Friends, today we have to talk about something I honestly hoped we'd never have to. It's not because I'm afraid, not because I'm unsure, but because what you're about to see is the moment when a commentator, someone people trusted, crossed a line you can't come back from. Well, I guess in the grace of the Lord, you can always come back, but it's not likely.
All right, you guys, it's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. After yesterday's episode where we went kind of for the jugular with Turning Point USA, because really I think everybody in the entire world has had enough with the non-response, trying to move on, trying to gaslight us on answering basic details. So we just went for it. And guess what? Turning Point has moved to formally respond to all of the things that we have said. And after a very long diatribe in which they wildly misrepresent the public and global investigation of Charlie Kirk's assassination, they at long last issued a public invitation.
And this isn't just Candace being Candace.
Where we went kind of for the jugular with Turning Point USA.
It's not a political line, ideological, or even just spiritual. It's all of that. This is reckless, manipulative, destabilizing.
Where we went kind of for the jugular.
And now it's dangerous. And somebody needs to say it plainly, and I can't understand why everybody isn't shouting it from the mountaintop. So today we're going to walk through the conspiracy web that she has spun in all these latest videos in the last 3 months. Not with emotion, tribalism, or politics, but just with truth. And I thought I'd warn you on the front end. Once you see the pattern, and you're going to see it, you can't unsee it. All right, let's begin. First section, her tone-setting manipulation. Right from out of the gate, before we ever get to the facts, she sets the stage with fear and isolation, persecution, paranoia, and more. This is how every conspiracy movement begins, not with evidence, but with emotion. So let me say this really clearly. If you have to emotionally destabilize your audience before presenting your claims aren't strong enough to stand on their own. So this isn't courage, this is conditioning, this is prepping, and it's the foundation for every unhinged thing that follows. Next, TPUSA is like Antifa. We're going to go through these and you're going to hear them in her own words. TPUSA is like Antifa if they don't believe me. There it is, the oldest tactic in the manipulation playbook. If you disagree with me, you're the enemy. Not wrong, not mistaken, the enemy. This is how cult leaders talk, friends. This is how abusers talk.
What we're doing here, Mr. Barish, is actually creating a map of your brain.
This is not how truth tellers talk. Truth doesn't require loyalty. Truth doesn't require flattery. Truth doesn't require you to choose sides. Truth just stands on its own. But she doesn't want truth. She wants allegiance. Big difference. Then there's the explosion of foreign assassination conspiracies.
Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels. At one point in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies. I could go on. There is always something new coming up, and none of it ever pans out, because from the start, there has been nothing there.
Okay, at this point, we leave the runway of reality. Egyptian planes, foreign military units, shadow operations, hidden tunnels with people popping out, a multinational plot to assassinate Charlie Kirk. Zero evidence, zero documentation, zero verifiable sourcing, just vibes, just fear, just the illusion of investigation. And this isn't journalism, friends. It's fan fiction for people who don't know they're reading fan fiction. Let me say this like a grown man should. You don't get to publicly accuse multiple governments of orchestrating a murder without evidence, without that eventually coming back to haunt you. You don't get to weaponize tragedy for clicks. And you don't get to destabilize an entire movement because you're mad at someone. Not on my watch. Then there was the Pentagon clip, her aha moment, which really isn't.
Yeah. So this is my first question, and don't laugh. Does the DOW have any evidence at all of a French military plot to assassinate Candace Owens?
Okay, this is where her entire argument collapses completely under the weight of its own absurdity. She claims the Pentagon laughed, therefore it's a cover-up. I have a million of these in here. This one's funny. No, they laughed, Candace, because the claim's insane. It's not evidence, it's embarrassment. Candace interprets everything as confirmation. If the Pentagon denies it, well, that's suspicious. If the Pentagon laughs, well, that's suspicious. If the Pentagon says nothing, that's suspicious. No, it's nuts. This is the carbon monoxide of conspiratorial thinking. No matter what happens, it only reinforces itself. It's a closed loop, a sealed echo chamber, a mental quicksand where reason cannot breathe. This is going to be rapid fire, so keep up. Next, the victimhood arc. They're trying to kill me. Take a look.
Political commentator and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens believes French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron are plotting to assassinate her, according to an outlandish, lengthy tweet she fired off over the weekend. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination, she wrote on November 22nd. In the post, Owens went on to claim she was told formalized assassination plans were greenlit to be executed by a team in the elite French Special Ops Unit, National Gendarmerie Intervention Group, while making sure to specify that there was one Israeli among the alleged assassination squad.
Well, here's the part that actually made me angry. Not annoyed or amused, just made me angry. You don't get to stand on the graves of trauma. Who in the right mind or with a right heart, or even a heart, would do this and declare yourself the next target because the internet disagreed with you? You don't get to exploit fear. Well, you kind of do, you're doing it. But it's going to come back in God's economy to haunt you. So stop exploiting your fear, or really anyone else's, as a branding strategy. You definitely don't get to tell your audience, they might assassinate me for telling the truth. That is spiritual manipulation, psychological manipulation, and social manipulation. You're not a martyr. You're manufacturing martyrdom, or trying to. And it's getting people genuinely afraid and threatened and might get people hurt. That's immoral. Next, Macron, Trump, and the perfectly timed phone call. It just gets nuttier from here. Take a look.
Thing happened all the way back in February, and I was sworn to secrecy temporarily. Today is the correct day to inform audiences. I received a very strange message from a friend of mine. I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. And I say, yeah, whatever, give me a call. And so he does call me pretty immediately. He says, somebody very high up at the White House has asked me to ask you if, as a favor, you could stop speaking about Brigitte Macron.
Now, this is where we hit peak desperation, a phone call between world leaders on a day when world leaders talk. Somehow becomes evidence of international assassination coordination. Like a rap song, international assassination coordination. Listen, this isn't investigation. This is horoscope level reasoning. Something happened near something else, so they must be connected, even though they aren't physically, spiritually, or emotionally connected in any way. Candace, just no. Correlation is not causation, and suspicion is not evidence. Next, the rapper segment, assassination fetishization. Say that 10 times fast. When a rapper makes a track called The Assassination of Candace Owens, and her response is simply, ha ha ha, I'm the muse, I'm iconic, it kind of tells you everything. Fear when it's useful, mockery when it's convenient, victim when it sells, untouchable when it helps the image. Wow, this is not consistent with a truth teller. This is flexibility of a performer, and the performance is getting darker. Next, audience fear, cult dynamics, and her no funny business line. Her audience is begging her not to attend a live stream debate because they genuinely believe that she might get assassinated on camera. They care about her, and instead of diffusing the paranoia, she created it, she fueled it, she leans into it. Worse, take a look at her actions immediately after declaring to the world that her life was in danger. She's off to Dolly World for a casual theme park adventure with no security whatsoever.
Candace Owens actually went to Dolly World the week of Thanksgiving, and not just the week of Thanksgiving. I mean, that's not what I'm questioning. Go enjoy yourself. Corn dogs, roller coaster, whatever. You know what I mean? But in this particular case, I'm wondering if she actually went to Dolly World right after announcing that there is an international League of Assassins ordered by the Macrons. You know, so you're going to go to a highly popular, I was just wondering if this was true, because in my mind, like, I would never, you wouldn't catch me at Six Flags or Disney World or anything like that if there was like an international League of Assassins like after me. You know what I mean?
Why? Well, I believe it's because she knows she's not in any danger from the righteous people that she attacks, because They have this thing called morals, and she's in less danger from the terrorist extremists because they find her to be a useful idiot right now who advances their evil cause better than they ever could. Sadly, that leaves the one blind spot that makes me genuinely worry for Candace, the actual insane, immoral villains doing most of the carnage these days. The one group she almost never talks about, the far left extremists. This isn't leadership. This isn't truth-telling. This is spiritual exploitation. She tells them, no assassinations, no funny business. Who even says that? Someone who wants the myth of danger more than they want the discipline of truth. Wow. Prayer, gratitude, affection, identity binding, community bonding, hero narrative. Only a few of us seem to understand what's really going on here. This is a textbook formula, not of journalism, but of charismatic manipulation. Last time I saw it done this well was Jim Jones. The emotional high at the end makes the viewer forget the logical holes in the middle. It's effective, terrifyingly effective, and completely unethical. So here's the truth. A man died, a godly man, a Christian man, the likes of which we'll probably never see again in our lifetime. A family's grieving, a movement is shaken, the third great awakening is threatened. And instead of helping, instead of healing, instead of honoring, she set it all on fire to build a spotlight, to build a platform. That's not courage. It's not truth. It's not discernment. It's not journalism. It's not prophetic boldness. It's reckless. It's manipulation. It's narcissism dressed as bravery. It is chaos disguised as truth-seeking. It's speculation sold as revelation. It is fear marketed as insight. And today, somebody just needs to finally say it. Pastor Rob Singleton, not afraid, not intimidated, not buying it, and absolutely unwilling to let conspiracies be preached where truth belongs. See you in the next video.